My name is Nathan Shelby, and I'm from Tuscaloosa Christian School. In 1981, Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States of America, was sworn into office. On Inauguration Day, he preached a conservative message that government is not the solution to our problems, government is the problem. With this message always in mind, he gave the following humorous speech, not only to entertain, but also to prove a point. If the Government Ran the World Series, by Ronald Reagan. Maybe it's the season, but I had a nightmare about the World Series recently. I dreamt that instead of Major League Baseball running the series, the federal government had taken over. The first difference I noticed was that the name of the series had been changed. Some bureaucrat decided that since the entire world would not participate in baseball, the name of the series would be changed to the United States and part of Canada series, so that it would be in accordance with various Federal Trade Commission rulings on truth in packaging. Occupational safety and health administration agents roamed the grandstand, making certain no one ate hot dogs. It seems they had fed 500 hot dogs to a guinea pig and had come down with a tummy ache. Only health foods, such as seaweed sandwiches made with non-bleached bread, of course, were allowed to be sold. Needless to say, players were listed on the scoreboard according to the new way of listing occupations. Instead of a second baseman and a third baseman, we had a second base person and a third base person. In order that citizens of below average height would be free from discriminatory descriptions, the fellow playing between the second base person and the third base person would be called the less high than other stop. In my nightmare, the results of affirmative action programs were evident. Any hitter whose batting average was below the league average was allowed 5 strikes before he was called out. And of course, any pitcher who was notoriously wild was allowed to strike out a batter by simply pitching 1 strike. When an affirmative action batter got to hit an affirmative action pitcher, it was ruled that 3 strikes was fair to all concerned. The pitcher for the home team was a woman, because the team had to have 1 female pitcher for every male pitcher. And the manager, a career bureaucrat who knew nothing about baseball, but whose ability to fulfill his affirmative action quota was unsurpassed, thought it would look good if he let the prize of being first game pitcher go to a woman, since the first pitch would be thrown out by the president, who happened to be a man. Unfortunately, the female pitcher was hit pretty hard, and the manager called for a relief pitcher from the bullpen. This proved to be a mistake, since the little shuttle that brought the pitcher from the bullpen was government subsidized and took 3 hours to get to the mound. Midway through the game, a hitter belted one out of the park, and the umpire ruled it a foul. And since the ball was hit into the center field bleachers, the manager for the hitter's team protested. And of course, since this was a government-sponsored game, the umpire was a bureaucrat and made his calling on the basis of telephone reports of lower-ranking bureaucrats at the game. His rulings were made from his cubicle in Washington, D.C., 1,000 miles away. The manager's protest had to be presented on a government form 15 pages long, typed and triplicated. Finally, it was the last of the night. 2 out, bases loaded, and a heavy hitter stepping up to the plate. Just as he was about to swing at a pitch, the Supreme Court ruled that the series was unconstitutional. It appears the fans in attendance were not of the correct racial, ethnic, sexual, and religious mix. The game would be held up until suitable fans were bused to the game. At that point, I'm glad to say, I woke up.
Good job.